What is up, everyone? Welcome to today's reaction video. And today's reaction was filmed as a part of our monthly live stream over on my Patreon. All that means for you here in YouTube land is that you may see some cuts and some edits through the video. This is just where I've engaged with the chat, had to talk to them, cut it out of the main video for YouTube and come back to the reaction. You guys haven't missed anything of the main video or of the main reaction, but you have missed out on the party over on the Patreon. So if you want to be a part of those live streams, sign up to my Patreon. It is always an absolutely amazing time. But for now, we are going to get into today's reaction video. As always, please check out the original video linked in the description below. Give the original a like and a comment and subscribe and watch it without all my pauses and interruptions because there's probably going to be a few. And we are going to get into this. Let's go.
I invented it many years ago when I first noticed that people who speak together often fail to understand each other clearly. But when we read or write, we use punctuation marks in order to underline the meaning of our sentences, but we do not have that support when we speak. So why not integrate punctuation marks into our speech? Then we can underline what we intend to convey to each other verbally.
Okay.
Now what the hell was all that? I always get involved in all these speeches and things like that. And then take it over. But of course, and then of course,
it's so funny to me because this looks at least like it might be a bit of an older comedy piece. And what he's saying is hella valid, absolutely valid, because when things are in written form and proper punctuation is used, there's no mistaking what is the intended wording, okay? But now that we've gotten into this time frame that we're in now, in 2024 here, I cannot tell you how many times I have had conversations around and explained to people that entire arguments are being caused because they are not conveying themselves, explaining themselves correctly via a text message, via the written form. Because nowadays, the problem is that we're better at conversing with each other using tone of voice and conveying ourselves through tone of voice. So when someone says, "What do you mean by that?" they can say it calmly. When they write it in a text message, it can be read as, "What do you mean by that?" And it's wildly different. And depending on what the mood of the receiver is, because they're not using the correct punctuation and not using like the correct way of writing, because they're using shorthand ways of writing, the meaning can get completely lost. So it's so interesting to think about how back here he's doing a comedy routine about the fact that the written form is better at expressing things than the verbal form. And in 2024, it's more like the verbal form is getting to the stage of being better at expressing things than the written form because most people aren't using the written form correctly anymore. Just saying. But I'm so curious to see where he's going to go with this with verbal punctuation.
and then of course, and that is it was right. I'll teach you how to use the system. It's very simple. A period sounds like this. A dash, an exclamation point is a vertical dash with a period underneath. See, the comma, quotation are two commas. Or if you happen to be left-handed. Question mark is a little difficult. And finally, the colon, the two little dots, you can put them over each other, or you can put them under each other, or you can put them wherever you want to put them. That's it.
I'm going to put it out there. I can see the direction that this is going in. And something that I love is the way that comedy is passed on from person to person. Because if y'all don't know who Carl Barron is an Australian comedian and quite big over here. He's hilarious. He does the one piece around how words and the words we use are just made up and like what if different words represent different things. And so he said, I can't remember exactly what the routine is, but he's like, what if the number one was instead of one? And what if, something else was and he does a whole routine then when he goes through and he says a sentence and it's all, oh yeah, I went down for this. And like he goes through and like integrates as if those were the words. And I can already tell that's the direction this is going to go in. And it's so cool to see how comedy is passed on from generation to generation. And like, not necessarily stolen, but just taken influence from. And you can look at, I bet any money that Carl Barron grew up watching this or saw this bit of comedy and like took it in the way that Who's on First has been taken multiple times. But I've never seen this before, and I can already tell, or I already feel like that's the direction it's going to go in, which is so cool. I'm so curious to see if I am right and if he does like a full sentence with this type stuff. But that's the vibe I'm getting from it, and I love it.
Wherever you are.
His delivery, by the way, is fantastic. That the way wherever you want to, the way he does, his considering that apparently he's mostly a musician from what I've heard in the chat, the fact that he has this kind of comedic timing and this kind of comedic phrasing is so impressive.
You can put them wherever you want to put them. That's it. I have a short story right here in the beginning of the book. So coming up. Page 9. Oh. Page 6. In the open window there suddenly came light. Beautiful Elinor sat alone dreaming of but one thing. 2 years had passed since she met Sir Henry. She could still remember the unhappy evening when her father had thrown him out. They had been sitting in the park, and Henry had said, "Darling."
I'm sorry. The fact that this works is baffling. The fact that this makes perfect sense is absolutely baffling and brilliant at the same time. And again, hearing how the punctuation and grammar should be placed in the sentence is just so it's so brilliant. And the fact that he's made it so funny is it's giving me the same vibes in a weird way as Weird Al's comedy song Word Crimes, where he breaks down all these grammatical errors and all these word crimes that people commit on a day-to-day basis, because it's just like something that we don't think about or something that we get wrong so easily. And to hear it actually vocalized to you, you're like, oh yeah, that like I'm terrible with my where to use commas, and or like not necessarily commas, but like where to use the correct punctuation in things. The fact that this is like actually vocalizing it, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't like it's so impressive to hear, and he's doing it in such a freaking funny way that's just so damn good.
She could still remember the unhappy evening when her father had thrown him out. They had been sitting in the park, and Henry had said, "Darling." Is this the first time you have loved? She had answered, yes.
He's got to have planned the whole sound effect for that last one. He's got to have planned the whole thing around that line, where it's just at the end of it. Like that is just brilliant.
She had answered, yes. But it is so wonderful that I hope it shall not be the last. It's getting a little messy here, but otherwise. Would you like to move back one row?
Oh my god. Would you like to move back one row? Yo, I can't even tell you what comedian it is, but there's one comedian that has a lisp, and what the video I've seen of them is that like the start of their set where they're like, I have a lisp, everyone in the front row is saying, yeah, you don't say, and like that gave me the exact same vibes of you, like they're in the splash zone, they need to move back. Just absolutely, I cannot believe that this man started as anything other than a comedian. He seems like the kind of person who this is his absolute calling. And from what I gather, it seemed he started as a pianist and then transferred to being a comedian full time, because how could he not? He is hilarious. My sides hurt from laughing at the moment. Oh my god.
Messy, but otherwise. Would you like to move back one row? Suddenly she heard a well-known sound. It was he. In 2 strides he was near her, embraced, kissed, and caressed her. Henry! What is love? She asked. He answered, well, I couldn't live without.
As someone who uses ... when I'm typing way too often, I'm never gonna be able to write it again without thinking in my head. Every time now. Oh my god. Oh my god, I was not ready for this. My sides hurt. I need my Ventolin. Oh my god, I am dying from this. This is freaking brilliant. Wait a minute. Did I pause too soon there? Was that the counting of the dots that he did there? Oh, messed all up. Oh, all kinds of messed up there. I didn't rewind far enough.
She asked. He answered, well, I couldn't live without. She asked, I'm sorry. She was a little left-handed. Where have your thoughts been? And he answered, with thee, my maiden. Suddenly he had gone. Oh. All she heard. All she heard was the well-known sound of his departing horse.
That was freaking amazing. That was one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. He was absolutely hilarious. Oh my god, I was not ready for how funny that was going to be. That actually, I swear my sides are hurting from laughing right now. He was so funny. And again, the way that he just geniusly took something that is so mundane and so basic, just something as simple as the use of grammar, and has turned it, and like punctuations, and has turned it into something that makes you want to double over laughing. He is absolutely genius. His timing was perfect. Everything about his delivery was just absolutely incredible. This was freaking brilliant. I loved this so much. Oh my god. Thank you so much for watching that reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, please check out the original video. It will be linked in the description. Give it a like, give it a comment, and subscribe to the original artist. Also, leave me a like and a comment and subscribe to me because it helps out the channel so much. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see on the channel, because I'm always reading the comments and always listening, and it means the absolute world to me. Check me out over on Patreon, where I run weekly polls for the reactions that I do. I also do weekly TV show reactions, monthly movie reactions, a monthly live stream, and the highest tier you can get a guaranteed reaction right here on the channel. Not to mention, as I said at the beginning, all of these videos are released in advance to my Patreon and my YouTube members, so check out those features. I will see you all in the next reaction video. Have a great day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in, and I'll see you next time. Bye!